Central Command, do you copy? From the signal is what we have to transmit the message. It's time. You need to get back on the road. Your next destination is your favorite park in the world, Tokyo DisneySea.
Welcome to Tokyo DisneySea, second theme park of the resort of Tokyo Disneyland. This park, it's really beautiful, it's something else, was built with the idea of doing something completely different. In fact, at the entrance we find this giant globe, of course, Walt and Mickey. But then we move through the hotel, Miracosta Hotel, which looks straight towards the park. Can't wait to stay in that hotel one day. We go through this Italian main street, which is not properly a main street, it's something completely different. It's just a full village based on Portofino and Venezia in Italia, which develops through the first parts of the park, with an area especially looking towards Venice, and another area with the houses and the hotel more like towards Portofino. But with the view of Mount Prometheus, which is this beautiful volcano, which is also the centerpiece of the park, and home of one of the best attractions here.
But now, let's go to the other end of the park, in the new area Fantasy Springs. And let's start the exploration from there.
Today, we're going to focus mainly on the rest of the park because there's a dedicated video on the channel that talks about Fantasy Springs in details, so you can go back and check that. It's a great new addition for this park and it makes it a huge park. I don't know if we'll be able to do everything. For sure you need 2 days just to visit this single park, and then there's of course Disneyland. I'll bring you a recap video of that park soon, so subscribe to not miss it. But to start the day, we did some stuff in Fantasy Springs, but now, even though it's just 10:30 in the morning, we're going to get lunch. They eat pretty early here in Japan, and so a good idea is to just go straight to have some food. And also we were here very early in the morning, so we didn't really have a good breakfast. So we're gonna kind of have like a brunch, early lunch, and then again an early dinner, because it's around 12 and around like 7 p.m. there's a lot of people in all the restaurants. To make it easier to find a spot to sit and everything, we're just gonna go eat right now in one of my favorite places. We're leaving now Fantasy Springs, which if you're staying in the hotels of Fantasy Springs or in the Disney hotels, you can enter straight from this park instead of the main entrance of the park, which I'll show you later. Welcome to Arabian Coast. This area of the park, it's all themed as if it was an Arabian coast. It's really, really beautiful. Jasmine flat ride, a Sinbad attraction, which is really cool. Actually, how about we do it right now so I can show you a few things. Eccoci. Sodaro, Chandu. As you saw, there's a lot of animatronics, a lot of things going on inside, and that's what makes it really, really, really cool. I don't know, it's small animatronics and it's a weird style, but it's a really cool style, like a little bit different than what, you know, you usually see. But because of the fact that there's a lot of animatronics inside, you know, that makes it beautiful. And also the story is amazing. It's basically this sailor, Simba, which departs from his town. No one believes he can do this trip around the world that he would like to have, but then he goes around the world and have so many adventures, meet so many people, to then go back home to his family and be praised for his achievements. And that's basically the story of, like, you know, life for a lot of people. You know, when someone doesn't believe you can do something and then you show them that you can, which is a great metaphor for life. Anyway, we're now entering the Arabian Coast area. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as a vibe. And of course, I'm here with Kelsey, my girlfriend. Ciao. Anyway, we're going to my favorite restaurant here. Here's the main plaza with a double-decker carousel, which is so cool. And this whole plaza, you're gonna hear me say it's so cool a lot of times. Anyway, This is the restaurant. You can do mobile orders straight from your phone. So you should definitely download the app. And then from here, you can do pretty much everything. First of all, look inside how cool it is. Okay, I said cool again. Anyway, you get your order and then you go to the counter indicated here. It's a good method. Amazing. This is just a curry at the end of the day, but it's so amazing. I love it. The naan, it's so warm and fluffy. The rice, the curry, it's amazing. And it's one of the few vegetarian options in the park. There's a few things, but this is absolutely my favorite. And then there's this sparkling apple drink. Try it if you come here. It's really good. Very well. Now, we got a reservation for Journey to the Center of the Earth. I decided to get one, and then we're gonna queue in Tower of Terror later. But wait times for the main attractions are really high. There's a lot of cool things actually you can do in this park besides the main attractions, to be honest, which is amazing, and I'll show you a few things. But if you want to do the main ones, you have to wait a long time most days. Today is middle of the week, but there's a lot of people, so that's why I decided to get one. It was 1,500 yen per person, which is not that much, so we're going there right now. We're getting into a new area, Mystery Island. The amazing thing is that it's basically just sounds in here and not music, which makes it even more interesting. Look at that volcano too. Like, it's just a beautiful area, like the rest of the park, with so many details and things to explore. And there's Journey to the Center of the Earth inside the volcano, then 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea underneath, a restaurant, a little store, snack areas, and it's based on Jules Verne's stories. This whole area was supposed to be in Disneyland Paris, but then they never built it, and so when they thought about the idea for this park, they got again that idea and placed it here. Of course, enhancing it and making it better, but Disneyland Paris has a Tomorrowland that it's Jules Verne themed. Anyway, I love that it like spans down there and up here. It's just great. Let's go do Journey to the Center of the Earth. Let's get inside the volcano. Wow. Every time it's just beautiful. This is my third time in this park. Thank you. This queue is so good. All the maps of Captain Nemo, which basically he's studying the center of the Earth, and we're gonna go with on this expedition through the center of the Earth to validate some of his research. And throughout this research field expedition, something goes wrong. Just finished Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's really something else. It's basically a test track mixed with Avatar and a great story. You know, during this expedition something goes wrong and then you have to escape the center of the Earth and the volcano and the lava monster. It's really amazing. It's just a little short. Could be a little longer, to be honest, at least the dark ride part. But the fact that it's a full dark ride and then at the end there's this escape, which is, you know, it's unexpected, especially if you don't know anything. It's just really amazing.
Let's jump into the night time, because this park is stunning at night. The panoramic views during the day are amazing, but at night it becomes something else. Even just walking around this park makes me happy. That said, at night, queue times for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea are usually lower, and so it's a good time to ride it. And since we're already exploring the area, I thought, why not show it right now? In the story, we embark in a journey with Captain Nemo in the search for Atlantis, the Lost Kingdom. But at some point, something goes wrong, and a sea monster / kraken attacks us, and we're able to escape, but we get completely lost under the depth of the sea until we get to the Lost City, where we find these ancient strange creatures that agrees to bring us back to our world if we swear to never reveal their existence. Okay, let's go back to the day.
Priority pass for Indiana Jones, we got it, and so we're gonna go towards that area and then start exploring a little bit of the rest of the park. But first, let me show you the Lost River Delta area, the one which Indiana Jones is in. But again, if you come here, you literally just have to come and stop and look at all the details in the park, because they're what makes the difference. By the way, the volcano erupts every hour. You know, there's not exactly like a schedule for it. It just happens sometimes, and it's really cool. Everything vibrates the whole land. Right after Mysterious Island, we get to Mermaid Lagoon with the castle from The Little Mermaid. Well, there's a kid coaster out here, but then if you go inside, there's something special. Welcome to the Trident Kingdom. Go past him and inside. And this is an indoor area of Tokyo DisneySea. And it's basically a playground area for kids. This is a wet area, and it's just stunning. And then some little kid-friendly flat rides, a playground, and a theater where they do little shows. Again, mainly for little kids. But honestly, it's just a great area. And finally, right after the main area, there's a Little Mermaid restaurant and then a store. And in here, I really love these Mickey statues. They're just really, really good. Let's cross this bridge to get to Indiana Jones. This ride is similar to the California version. However, in my opinion, it's better. There's a few slight differences that make it better. Starting from the queue line and also the exterior of the ride itself. I mean, look at that. Again, long line. Luckily, we were able to get a 40th anniversary priority pass, which is free. But you just gotta, if you want those, you gotta be here really early. It's the only way to get them. I wish you could explore a little bit of this pyramid. How cool is all of these? Down there, dead people. Whoops. It's just amazing. Like, you can literally be here in line, in the queue for hours and still spot new details. I love the detail of the projector projecting with the shadow. So good. It's always such a great ride. Very similar to the version in California, but this one is a little bit better in my opinion. Has some slight differences and a few really cool effects, which makes it my favorite version of it. Now, even though I've been here multiple times, I've never done the river boat that crosses the park and brings you to the other area, the New York themed one. And since we want to go there, let's get the boat. The port is here, right next to Indiana Jones, which also has another ride, which is a roller coaster similar to the one in Paris you've seen on the channel. However, it's at the moment closed for refurbishment, slightly less intense version of the one in Paris at the end of the day. I'm excited. It shows the whole park from the boat. That's amazing. And here in front there's like some shops. Lost River Delta. DisneySea's transit steamer. Let's see. Wow. Oh, there's a little store here at the end. A hidden store. That's cool. It's when you arrive, I think. Maybe it's gonna be one on the other side. Wow. See, all these like little details and things you don't see if you don't explore. And like, this is a side attraction, right? It's just a transit through the park. But the amazing details they have, it's...
This is basically the Disneyland Railroad, but on water. It has different stops around the park where you can get off, and besides that, it has a great panoramic view of the park.
Welcome to Mediterranean Harbor. This is the Mediterranean area of the park. That's basically Italy, a mix of a bunch of different cities in Italy. And this is also the main street. There's not really a main street of this area, but that's the entrance of the park. And then it opens up on this beautiful view on this harbor, on this bay. And the story of this park is that this island was colonized by sailors who moved here in search for something adventurous and then started living and colonizing the island. And then this city was born exactly here. There's soaring in this area, like an Italian version, I guess. The queue is different, but the main ride, it's basically the same, even though I've never done it, because it always has like 200 minutes every time. And so I'm like, I love soaring, but 200 minutes is a lot. We'll see if later it goes down, but the right music, the right atmosphere makes this part of the park just stunning. This is a beautiful hotel. Imagine having a room there with the view on the volcano. It's just amazing. We get to Venice. Beautiful Venezia. It's really well made. You can also go on gondole. There's a little ride that brings you around with one of those. Anyway, moving on from Italy, it's directly connected to the New York area, which is kind of like a tribute to the main street. Since this park doesn't have one, they build this New York style street with a bunch of rides and little shop, restaurants, and even that part, I mean, I'm gonna tell you again, it's beautiful. Welcome to American Waterfront. You can see the Tower of Terror peeking back there. There's also a station for a little train that brings you to Port Discovery, another area of this park that we'll show you later, but it's right now closed for refurbishment. And there it is, the beautiful Tower of Terror of this park. Now we're gonna soon go in line for that, but first, let me show you another area down here, which is basically connected to American Waterfront, and it's kind of like a Coney Island style little park dedicated to Toy Story, Toyville Trolley Park. And in this area, there's Toy Story Mania and a few little carnival games, plus this little show with Mr. Potato Head. I think it's an interactive show. Just get out from the tower. It's not my favorite tower, but it's my favorite story of a tower. Because it's an original story of the secret society of adventurers and explorers, which are my absolute favorites.
The ride is set in 1912 at a beautiful New York hotel built by the explorer and collector Harrison Hightower III. Hightower was known for his expeditions around the world, during which he acquired numerous artifacts, often though with questionable means. One of these items was an African idol called Shiriki Utundu, and the local population told him about curses, but he decided to ignore them and took it anyway, bringing it back to his hotel. And on New Year's Eve of 1899, after a press conference in which he mocked the superstitions surrounding the idol, Hightower mysteriously vanished while taking the elevator up to his penthouse. Following this event, the hotel was closed and believed to be cursed. But in 1912, the New York City Preservation Society decided to reopen the hotel for guided tours. And it's in this context that today's visitors can explore the building and uncover his history. And so we begin with our walking tour until something awakens and we end up in a series of thrilling drops, even though not as intense as some of the other towers around the world.
However, it's not that intense. It's mostly up and down and absence of gravity, more towards Guardians, but it's just because this is less intense. I think in general, all attractions here in this park are less intense than what I'm used to, at least. But I love the story. My favorite one is, of course, the one in Orlando, just because it has like extra stuff, you know? But this is a close second. I wanted to explore this boat, which is pretty cool. You can go inside, explore, and right outside there's Turtle Talk. There's some chill ducks.
This is Cape Cod. It's a little area with store, restaurants, and meet and greets dedicated to Daffy and Friends, Disney character developed in the Asian Disney theme parks, and they're so loved here, even though those shows never came to other part of the world. But besides that, the area is just beautiful. Right after these, we get to Port Discovery, which is basically the Tomorrowland of the park, which envisions a futuristic marina, and it has some elements of the never-built Discovery Bay for Disneyland and Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris. It's all retro-futuristic, and it's inspired by the mid-20th century science fiction. There's 3 rides. Aquatopia, which is basically a trackless watercraft that goes through this lagoon with whirlpools, waterfalls, and other obstacles. Nemo and Friends Sea Rider, which is kind of like Star Tours but Nemo themed, where you get shrunk and go on an adventure with Nemo and his friends, and there's a bunch of different videos shown throughout the day, so you can do it multiple times and have different experiences. And then DisneySea Electric Railway, which is an elevated trolley that transports guests from Port Discovery to the American waterfront and has beautiful panoramic views. It was closed though during this time for refurbishment. Then finally we get under Mount Prometheus, where there's a whole area to explore dedicated to Leonardo da Vinci and his discoveries. It's beautiful to walk around, explore, and try all the different things that you can find inside until you get to the amazing boat at the port that it's also fully explorable. And finally, what do I think about this park? It's really something else, different from any other Disney park in the world, and it's a park made for nerds, meaning it's full of elements and it's the most immersive park. You know, it's kind of like Jungle Cruise, the original idea that Walt had of Jungle Cruise, where it was bringing you into an African safari that many people weren't able to experience at the time. And so it would give you an escape from reality by immersing you in something real but difficult to find in California at the time. And similarly, this world, it's very realistic, futuristic, and then from the past and in different kind of styles, but it's just so real, and a real lover of theme parks can really truly appreciate this park. If you're a casual theme park lover, you will probably still love it, but maybe you're better off with just Disneyland. This park has so many details that you really have to love theme parks to fully understand it, I think. But now with the expansion of Fantasy Springs, it makes it even better and even more complete. It's for sure my favorite Disney theme park in the world, even though I love California Adventure, I love the original Disneyland because it's a museum, but now that I've seen all the Disney theme parks in the world, I know why I like certain parks and why, and so they're mostly all of the same levels, just for different reasons. And the most immersive, realistic, and well-themed, it's for sure this one, Tokyo DisneySea. If you can, absolutely visit this park. Ideally, it would be great to have 2 days to explore it because it's really packed with things, and I'm sure you will love it too. That said, I'll see you very soon with new adventure, always here on Apron Tales.